DC. This is Luke with Hot Wax and Cool Vinyl. Welcome back. Hopefully everyone had a nice weekend and had a nice start to their work week. For those who start their work week on Monday, mine actually starts tomorrow on Tuesday. So this week's vinyl finds and video is, again, because it's been so long since I did a video. It was 5 months between the last video and the video I've done this year in January. I have some records that I want to catch up on, and because I like to keep my videos shortish, in the 10-minute mark or so, I thought I'd break it down into segments where I show you stuff that I picked up over the past 5 months. So without further ado, let's start. First up is the Encyclopedia of Punk, written by Brian Cogan. Great paperback, nice thick book. Covers everyone from the Dead Boys, groups I've never heard of, the Gorilla Biscuits, 86 through 91, and more prominent groups, Good Charlotte. Has lots of great, fantastic photography. Great stories, really well laid out. It goes to the Pixies. It really covers the full gamut. Again, all kinds of bands, some I've heard of, some I've never heard of. It has the Runaways and the Ruts. So it goes out. It's in alphabetized order. If you get a chance, it really is worthy of picking up and adding to your music collection. So, Encyclopedia of Punk. It's 390 pages of just awesomeness. So, that's one. Put this down here if it's okay. Moving on to the records. I have my tablet here with my Discogs up so I know which pressings without getting too carried away. So if you see me glancing down, that's what I'm doing. Glenn Miller and his orchestra, the Carnegie Hall concert. This is a 1958 press. I bought this summer at a yard sale, I believe. RCA Victor. The record is really in fantastic shape, as is the cover. It even comes with the original inner, which is the contest, and this is really interesting. If you take fabulous prizes, and the prizes were pretty interesting. First prize was the fabulous Mark I combination phonograph radio and RCA Victor recorder stereo tape player, and 2 matching speaker cabinets, valued at $2,000 at the time. Second prize was the color TV, valued at $900, and third prize was a Stanwick color TV, compatible TV console. That was $550, one of those console sets. Just always interesting when I find these little add-ons in the album with the original undersleeves. It's always worth it to me just to read them, to see, get a glimpse. It's like a snapshot into the history at the time, anyway. So that was it. Glenn Miller at the Carnegie Hall. I think Glenn Miller gets a bit of a bad rap. A victim of his own success. It was very popular, and so becomes. He was taken less seriously as a musician. He's actually quite talented as a jazz musician. Next up, Lionel Hampton plays drums, vibes, and piano. I believe this is, if I'm not mistaken, here it is. This was the 58 press from Audio Fidelity. Silver label. Gatefold. Really very, very similar to Impulse. Nice heavy stock, really well glossed out. Great album. I like, most of you already know how much I enjoy listening to Lionel Hampton. And so this was the 1958 issue from Audio Fidelity on their silver label, Gatefold Press. Great album. I think that was, I should tell you where I bought it. That was from the Saratoga Springs Salvation Army. From a record purchase this summer, from a record collection I purchased. Guy had a ton of stuff, 90% of which I already had, but he had a couple of really pristine copies of the Dead Kennedys, Frankenchrist, including the poster, and that was a UK press, and Fresh Fruit for Rotting Vegetables, including the original inners, both UK presses. I had them both, so I wound up trading those a couple of months back for some other stuff. But he also had like this Honky Dory, which was missing from my collection. This is a 75 repress. So I don't know why it was missing from my collection, but it was. So when I wound up buying this guy's collection, and found this and a couple of others that I'll show as we go past these, I was really kind of excited. And it's a funny story because I went to this guy's yard sale and he had a couple of speakers there. So I said, do you have any other stereo equipment? Do you have any records? And he goes, yes, I have records, but they're not for sale. And then he turned to his wife and he's like, or are they? And his wife was like, what are you going to do with these things? So anyway, long story short, I went downstairs in his basement. I made him an offer. He had about 200 albums. Zappa Guy and the Climax Blues Band of the really weird combination. But I wound up buying all of them. And it turned out he had a lot of cool stuff in there. Like I said, he had Honky Dory. He had a couple of DK albums. And so it was a worthwhile purchase. Also, this summer at one of my flea markets, one of the local flea markets, the Coasters. This is an unknown year repress on Atco. This is the white label Atco. I believe this label was late 70s, early 80s, if I'm not mistaken. Because I think or mid 80s, somewhere in that neighborhood. The yellow Atco label was early 70s. Discogs really doesn't have a year on this. But I love the Coasters, and this is their greatest hits compilation album, so can't go wrong with that. And concluding with Reminiscing from Buddy Holly. This is on Coral. I believe this one is, this is the 63 press hype sticker, Coral maroon label. This one has a great rendition of Brown Eyed Handsome Man. I really like the way Buddy Holly did it. I think I like it better than Chuck Berry's version. But yeah, so this was also, this and the Coasters album came from the same flea market vendor. We kind of know each other a little bit. He knew I was a record guy, so he had a lot of common stuff in front. He goes, hey, I got some stuff you might be interested in, and he pulled out a crate of albums, and some of the stuff he had wasn't bad, but it just happened to be stuff I had, and I had better copies of. But this one and the Coasters were two that this one I did not have. The Coasters I did have. I had an earlier pressing of it, but it's really, really roached. Close. I mean, it's listenable, but not really. It's got a lot of heavy noise in it and a lot of overpowering pops and cracks. So I was happy to get my hands on that copy of the Coasters, even if it is a later pressing. So that's it for the week. We're listening to Sunday Jazz, or I'm on CD. It's a compilation CD that I picked up from one of my local Salvation Armies. I'm sorry, not Sunday Jazz. It's Jazz for a Rainy Day. Even though it's sunny today, we're supposed to get a little snow tomorrow, so I anticipated it by a day. So hopefully everyone's going to have a good, solid week. Everyone's going to stay safe. And hopefully they continue to roll out the vaccine so we all get vaccinated, can get back to normal soon. If you like what you saw, please subscribe. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think of this video, what you think of the records I found, if I made any mistakes, if I omitted anything in particular. Just let me know. The interplay is always a lot more fun. Actually, it's a heck of a lot more fun than actually even making the videos. Just the interplay between you and me and everybody else. So, have a great week. Stay safe. Stay COVID-free. Cheers.